Hi, my name is Shadi, and I have a short message for you, the young generation of African living in Canada, America, Europe, and Australia. To the young girls and boys living abroad out of Africa, my message is simple. My message is for you who is going to listen. And my message shall be transferred from generation to generation. As you might know, we all come from somewhere. We are African. It does not matter the citizenship you already have. But don't forget, you and I, we are African. That's what's in our DNA. We are all African. And my message today, I want it to be heard. I want it to be transferred from generation to generation. Because there is no people without stories. We have a story. We are coming from somewhere. And some of you, young men, some of you, young women, don't understand the costs of being where you are today. As a refugee myself, for 11 years in Uganda, and as a parent of 4 kids, I understand that a father, a mother can do anything for his children. A parent is someone who makes sure the future of the next generation, not only yours, but also for your children, is secured. But there is something our new generation, our young boys and girls, you forget. And maybe some of you don't know. For you to be there, for you to be in America, for you to be in Canada, for you to hold today a citizenship of wherever you are, for you to be in a country of freedom, in countries where anything is possible, in countries where you can become whatever you want, it is because either your parents or your grandparents have paid the price for you. Most of you, their parents went through a lot. And believe me, when I say they went through a lot, I know what I mean. As a refugee myself for 11 years, I know. And do you think your parents went through those challenges because of themselves? No, I don't think it was because of myself, but it was for the sake of my children. It was for their future. If you never try, if you never think this, if you never consider this, I want my message to stimulate you. I want this message to wake you up. That your parents, or maybe your grandparents, they have paid a price for you to be where you are. Never forget it, young generation. Tell it to your children. Tell this message to the next generation that they should never forget their story. Of course, at school we study the history. We study European history, we study African history, we study American history. But I'm telling you today that before you study the history of continents, of countries, start by studying the history of your family. Understand the history of your generation, of your family tree. How did your parents come where they are today? And maybe, and I believe, after listening to the story, you will change your mind. And as a pastor, for those who don't know me, I am a pastor. I have been listening to parents, many parents, and they are crying because of you, young boys and girls. Of course, you are in countries where parents are powerless. They have almost zero authority over you. Yes. But I want you to consider this. I want you to consider this. You don't need tough discipline to respect your parents. No. You don't need them to shout on you to respect them. But what you need is to consider, is to know the story of your family. What did they do for you to be where you are? Most parents today, they are miserable. In Europe, in Canada, in America, in Australia, many African parents, because of their children, they are unhappy. Some of them, they have heart attacks. Some of them, they now have diabetes. Some of them, they have lost their happiness. So instead of you becoming a blessing to your parents, you are becoming a curse to your parents. Parents are crying days and nights because of you. But I wish you knew the sacrifice these parents did for you to be there. And how do you pay them? They don't ask you much. They just ask you respect. Is it hard? Is it impossible? For someone who suffered for you, for someone who went through a lot just to make sure you have the better life and the better future. So, dear African, dear new generation, dear young boys and girls, I'm appealing to you today to share this video to many young Africans living abroad. Tell them that their parents, tell them that their grandparents suffered a lot for them to be where they are today. It's time that you start reconsider the way you treat your parents abroad. It's time that you start living by the values as African. My message was short, and I hope it reached the target. But what I'm appealing to you is, let all live abroad, but never forget you were African. God bless you, and share the message to all the young generation. Thank you. Call me Papa Shadi.